In this video I'm going to show you how you can draw 5 sort of Christmas ribbon patterns. In the description and at the bottom of the video you'll see chapters which will take you straight to the pattern you want to draw. Now, this first pattern is going to be robins, so I'm going to do a little bit of planning here to get these to fit nicely. So I'm going to draw circles. This is kind of the head shape. Now we want a similar thing sort of over here and the same width apart. And let's do the same round about here and there. And then let's draw a little line across there. So we can erase these later. Don't press too hard or else you're going to find it really difficult to erase them later. So what we're going to do is it just comes around like that, and then we want to do a nice curve like that. So we're coming sort of a quarter way around, and then we're going to go down. Similar here, we're going to go all the way around and all the way around. So this is a nice sort of thing that you can do, sort of mass production, isn't it? And we want to come around there, don't we? It's like mass production, so we just do one line at a time. This is now going to come up and join there. You can make that a little bit more straight down there if you want. So the way you do these curves will add different kinds of character to your little robin birds. And we want to have little feet, so they're like 2 little arrows which are going to go backwards like that. Funny old things, birds' feet. And they're going to go like that and like that, and then let's put little beaks on each one. Beaky beaky, beaky beaky, like that. And then we're going to want to have little eyes. Oh, let's bring that down a bit, like that. And so you can leave just a tiny little bit of white if you want, or just fill it all in. That makes it really simple. And then we'll bring the wing down like that, and that way, and that way. And then we're just going to put in some really simple snowflakes like that, just sort of filling in the spaces nicely. And we'll do one in there and there, just so that it's all nice and even. That's what you want in a pattern. I think we can put little ones in there, and then we're going to want a little border pattern as well. I'll just zip through this because this is a boring bit, and then we get on to our next pattern. Some people get really bored doing this kind of thing and they just start scribbling, but this is a really good exercise in perspicacity, keeping on at itness. And the more you do little exercises like this, the more you get better at sticking to a job, taking your time and getting to the end, actually finishing. Now this next one's going to be a lot easier. So we're going to do semicircles like this, just on the edges, and they don't have to be exactly the same size, because I think a little bit of, we can do it in the corner there like that. A little bit of sort of individuality is going to make it look good. This is just a kind of a fun party kind of style design, and then we'll put some new circles in, sort of like that. And again, they don't have to be the same size exactly, but you could use a kind of a template to draw them if you wanted, but they're roughly the same size. And then we can draw some smaller ones in all those extra places, and then you could colour them all in and give them different colours, Christmas colours. And then here I'm going to do a border like this, and now we're going to do border number 3. Now this is a little bit more complicated. You can kind of use this here to work out what we want to do. So we're going to have like 1 and 2, 1 and 2, 1 and 2, something like that. We're going to draw reindeer, except they're not reindeer, they're actually deer. It's amazing how, so we're going to do these curls like that, okay? Let's draw them all in one go. In fact, while your hand is used to doing it one way, do all of them at the same time. Like that. And then we're going to go kind of across like that. Down and across, down and across, down and across, down and across, down and across. You might want to put in a little tail at the end there while we're at it, like that. And then here we're going to want to have the deer's head like that. So they're kind of looking backwards in a majestic kind of pose. That's the word we're looking for. And then we want ears on them like that. I'm going to do another video of these that will be a bigger one on its own. And then we need to draw the antlers. So we're going to go draw these curls coming around like that. And if we draw them all these bits at the same time, then we get this kind of uniformity to the pattern, which is really what you want with a pattern, because that's uniformity. Everything being the same is kind of what patterns are all about. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oops, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then the front leg is going to be sort of like that, and again, and down a little. So I think what we need to do is do all the ones on this side so we get them the same, and then we do all the ones on that side so we get them all the same. So it's kind of a tiny long thin triangle like that, and there's the paw, the hoof paw, and then we kind of want to do the same there, and a little kind of hoof at the end. I keep saying to do things in a pattern like that, and then I don't do it. So, I'm getting lost now. And then we want to do that one, don't we? And that one. And don't worry if I'm going over, because this is all going to be painted in black afterwards. And then the back leg is kind of a zigzag like that. Let's do a zigzag, zigzag, zig, zigzag, zig. What have I done? In, then and down, up, in and down, and then we can kind of do like that, because the back leg is so much more chunky. It's the hind quarters. I think they're getting a bit chunkier as we go along there, aren't they? And then we can do a kind of a triangle there, a long thin triangle like that, long thin triangle, long and thin, long and thin. And then we want to shade all of these in. Here I'm using a brush pen here, which kind of fills in really quite quickly, but you can use whatever you've got to hand. And of course you might be doing this in a completely different colour, which is absolutely fine, no problem at all. And you can see now, once we start filling in the dark, the bits in the middle, we get this lovely deer silhouette, and all, you know, as a pattern it starts coming together really, really nicely. I think I really like this one. And then I'm going to do this kind of loopy pattern, which in a way kind of echoes the antlers, and the same underneath going the other way. If you want to be really busy, you can kind of fill those bits in there with little dots. It all adds to the pattern. And what we could do is just do these little things like that, which is meant to look like sort of grass. So it's just like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, just a couple there, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. That just kind of gives you grass. And then we just need to put in some snow, black snow. It's not a bit odd, isn't it? But it's just a sort of a pattern that fills in the background and just gives it that extra kind of feeling. So if you were drawing this on coloured paper, you can paint these in as white dots as snow falling. And just make it look much more Christmassy. This next pattern is going to be much simpler, and we're going to start here with a plus sign, and then we're going to draw an X. Now this is going to be the difficult bit. Okay, so then plus, go roughly the same distance, and then a plus sign, same distance, like that, and a plus sign. Oh, we haven't done the plus, there we are. Whoops. And then we're going to do an X. I'm getting a little bit losing my concentration here. So there's the X, and then we want a plus sign. So this is a very simple kind of design you'll quite often see on a Christmas jumper or something like that. It's a kind of a knitting design, really simple. And a plus. And we've got to squeeze an X in there nicely. And then what we're going to do is, let's put little dots all the way along there like that. This now adds a bit of interest to the whole thing. And we'll also, if you made a few mistakes like I have, it'll kind of help to sort of bring the whole thing together as well. Now we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And you can make these lines thicker and thinner, whatever you want. Here we're going to do a pattern, a zigzag pattern all the way along. You can try and keep these sort of equidistant or equal distances apart in the wavelength, as it were. And then we're going to go back the other way, so we get a cross pattern like that. Diamond even, isn't it? It's kind of like a diamond pattern. And the same thing at the bottom. And you know, this is an interesting thing to practice doing. It's a really good sort of practice kind of thing, because it's all about concentration. And while I'm talking, of course, then I kind of lose my concentration. It's really difficult to make this equal, and it's easy to sort of forget what you're doing and just sort of lose your concentration. Like that went down a little bit there, didn't it? And it's just a really good exercise, this kind of thing, to improve your concentration and your sort of hand-eye coordination, that kind of thing. And finally, we're going to do sort of 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's really good to pencil out very lightly so that you get a rough idea of how you're going to fit everything in. So we're going to draw Christmas puddings. So do 1 and 2, 8. And they're all covered in cream, custard, white sauce. What is that? White vanilla sauce. That's the one I'm thinking of. I'm going to use a brush thing, because this gives you something that's a little more than just dots. You get these are more random kind of shapes. So this is the fruit in the pudding. And you can just, whatever you can make the dots with, that's fine. But this does give you much more of a random sort of shape for each piece of raisin sultan or whatever it is we're drawing. And then on the top we want to draw these two curves, and then we want to come back like that, making holly leaves. And then we could just add a little more decoration with some little just shaped round circle shapes in between, just to add that extra little bit of something. And then we're going to want dots down the middle of our border. I think these little dots, they kind of give an echo of the fruit in the pudding, don't they? So it's quite good to try and get the border to do something that sort of has got something in the drawing part of it, in the pattern part of it. You can erase all those pencil lines, of course, and that makes it look a lot tidier. Then all you need to do is colour it in. Thanks for watching, and make sure you are subscribed to Draw Stuff Real Easy, and keep coming back for lots more drawing videos. In the meantime, keep drawing, practice, 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 and I'll see you next time. You take care now. Bye bye.